the one problem about it.
Brother.
Nobody will pay any attention to me in the movie.
Well, don't worry, she's not actually going to be in it.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
Well, then no one will want to ever see it.
That's true. Okay. Do your thing.
Yeah, so shall we, I'm just going to ask the question
The
again.
brother question, huh?
The
You were
problem-
telling about his brother and how they got along in the accident.
I just wanted to go back to what you want to be when you grow up.
I actually didn't develop any kind of picture about what I wanted to be.
No?
No, I
Not at all.
didn't. It just didn't. I don't know why.
But did you never think about the future at all?
Some kinds, but it's in very impractical ways. For instance, in the heavy wooded area there, that had been growing naturally for who knows how many millennia. The trees get big and finally die, and they fall over, and then they lie there for years and years, and finally begin to rot. The wood gets very soft, and I guess worms and things get into them, but then they're all crumbly, and you can find those logs out there like this, and there are people that, like my mother, thought they would be good mulch for our garden area, so we would go out and cart back big bags of them, and then so this was when I was about 14 or 15, when I already had invested in my first automobile.
Really?
Yeah, that's a long story, but anyway, I dreamt of, I started thinking, gee, we could get a truck sort of thing and fix it up, and we could deliver this kind of, I forgot what we call it, mulch trees, I guess. We could deliver that to people in town and make money. And so one of the neighbor boys, his dad and his uncle had some old trucks, so we were thinking about doing that.
So you already had your own automobile?
Oh, that was a very interesting and very significant part of my early years is in roaming around the country there, we found an abandoned barn, and it hadn't been used for years. And what's more, off in one side of it was an old, big canvas tarp, old mildewy tarp over something. We pulled that off, and underneath it was this old Model T Ford.
Really?
And I found out that it was built in 1916, and that was probably 1935 or something by then. And but in those days, having a 20-year-old car things were changing so rapidly that it was unheard of. But what attracted me about it is its radiator was like this, made out of brass, and the seat was way up high, and the parking lamps out here were kerosene, and I just fell in love with it, and I hunted all over to who owned it, and then asked if they wanted to sell it. Well, who wants to buy it? I said I did. So they finally agreed on a price of $10, but that would be.
How much is that now?
Could well be 10 times the cost of things have gone up.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy a gallon of gas for 20 cents.
How much is that now?
$2 after
$2?
factor 10. So
Still a good buy.
Anyway, but I'd been earning money regularly. By then, I guess I was 14, but people that needed lawns mowed and things like that would going wage with 25 cents an hour. That'd be fine. So that car only cost me 40 hours of work. See, so it didn't seem that bad. But it didn't run, so I can't remember how I got it home. Might have gotten my neighbor friend's horses and pulled it home. But the tires were practically rotten when they were. But then started a period where I was riding my bicycle for miles to all the junkyards. Old cars were there, and the only size of tires were old Model Ts, so there weren't very many, and I finally found enough tires and put those on, but the engine hadn't been run for long, and so I was very curious, and I ended up taking most of the engine apart, and the two brothers, middle-aged brothers, owned and ran a garage and gas filling station about 1.5 miles from my house, and they were really, really good guys, and everybody knew it was everybody by then, so they knew that we were orphans, semi-orphans or whatever, and but they trust me with their good tools, so I'd come and ask him, how you do this, and the guy show me, this is the kind of tool you do this for that, and then he'd take me over to show me on some other car, and then I would take it and ride like crazy back home and use the tool and bring it back to him right away. So I got it running, and it was a big part of my life for those years of fixing it up and running it.
So you were a bit of an engineer?
I guess so.